The sky above the small village of Devgarh was painted in muted shades of gray, as if nature itself disapproved of what lay beyond its borders. I had heard rumors of this place for years, whispers exchanged in hushed voices about a stretch of land that no farmer dared to plow, no traveler dared to cross, and no villager dared to mention after sunset. They called it Shrapit Bhumi, the cursed land. I, Ananya Meera, was a young journalist with a passion for digging into forgotten stories. My career had been stagnating. I needed something bold, something that would bring me into the spotlight. When I first read about Devgarh in an old colonial archive, my curiosity turned into an obsession. I packed my bags, armed with only a notebook, a recorder, and my restless determination. The village itself was quiet, almost too quiet. The narrow lanes twisted between mud houses, and the air carried the faint smell of smoke from wood fires. As I asked around about the cursed land, villagers avoided my eyes. Old women muttered prayers, men walked away shaking their heads, and children stared at me with a mix of pity and fear. Finally, a wrinkled old man named Hariya agreed to speak to me. His eyes were clouded with cataracts, but his voice carried the weight of decades. "Leave while you can, Beatty. That land has swallowed stronger souls than yours. Even the gods do not walk there after nightfall." But my stubbornness outweighed my fear. I had not come this far to turn back. At dusk, I walked toward the cursed land. The path leading there was wild and overgrown, flanked by trees that seemed to lean inward, as though trying to block trespassers. A strange chill seeped into my bones the closer I got. The villagers had built a stone boundary around the land, a broken circle of jagged rocks smeared with vermilion and ash. Prayer flags fluttered, torn by years of wind and neglect. Beyond it, the cursed land stretched like a scar. Barren soil, cracked like old skin, where not even weeds dared to grow. As I stepped over the boundary, I felt the air change. It was heavier, oppressive, almost alive. My phone's signal vanished instantly. My recorder flickered, then shut off. Suddenly, I heard a sound, a low, hollow whisper. At first, I thought it was the wind, but as it grew louder, the words became clear. "You should not be here." I froze, my throat dry, but my legs carried me deeper into the land as though unseen hands were pulling me forward. I had prepared to camp near the land, believing I could spend a few nights there gathering evidence. As darkness fell, the silence grew unbearable. Not even crickets dared to sing. I lit a lantern. Its glow seemed fragile, swallowed quickly by the surrounding darkness. Suddenly, I noticed shadows moving at the edge of the light, shapes with no form, drifting like smoke. My rational mind told me it was just exhaustion, but my body knew better. Then came the sound of ankle bells, soft, rhythmic, drawing nearer. The bells stopped right behind me. I turned slowly, but no one was there. Only the cracked ground and the flickering lantern. The air thickened, and from the corner of my eye, I saw her. A woman in a red bridal sari, her face hidden by a heavy veil, standing just beyond the light. Her bangles jingled faintly as she lifted her hand toward me. I couldn't move. My body was frozen, yet my heart hammered violently against my ribs. She whispered, almost tenderly, "Stay with me forever." I stumbled back, but when I blinked, she was gone. The lantern flickered out, leaving me in complete darkness. The next morning, I ran back to the village, shaken but unwilling to give up. Hariya found me trembling outside his hut. When I told him what I had seen, his face grew pale. He began to tell me the story the villagers had buried for generations. Long ago, the land belonged to a wealthy landlord named Raja Viren Singh. He was powerful, cruel, and obsessed with a young woman named Meera, the daughter of a poor farmer. She was already engaged to a man she loved, but the landlord desired her for himself. On the night of her wedding, Viren Singh attacked. He slaughtered the groom and dragged Meera to the land where her bridal procession had once been meant to pass. There, in a fit of rage, he tried to force her to marry him under a cursed fire. But Meera resisted. With her last strength, she set herself aflame rather than submit. As she burned, she cursed the land. "No life shall grow here. No soul shall find peace. This ground will remember every sin, every scream, every drop of blood spilled." The landlord died mysteriously days later, his body found mutilated in the same field. Since then, the land has been barren, haunted by Meera's restless spirit. Haria finished his tale, with trembling lips. Many have tried to build there. Many have tried to harvest. All have vanished. Some return mad, speaking of a bride who calls them to stay forever. Others are never seen again. Despite everything, I knew I had to go back. Not for curiosity now, but for justice. Meera's story had to be told. That night, I returned with offerings, flowers, incense, and holy water. As I stepped inside the cursed circle, the air turned icy once more. The shadows stirred. The bride appeared again, closer this time. Her veil lifted slightly, and I saw her face, charred, twisted with both pain and beauty. Her hollow eyes fixed on mine. "Why do you disturb me?" she hissed. My voice shook, but I forced the words out. "I am here to tell your story, Meera. To make sure you're not forgotten." For a moment, the air stilled. Her expression softened. But then the ground beneath me cracked open, and I felt myself sinking. Arms, blackened, skeletal arms, rose from the soil, clawing at my ankles. The cursed land was trying to pull me under. I screamed, struggling, but the more I fought, the deeper I sank. Meera's voice echoed all around me.
"Stay.
Stay forever." With my last ounce of strength, I hurled the holy water onto the soil. The earth recoiled, the skeletal hands shriveling back. The bride shrieked, a sound so piercing it shattered the silence of centuries. I stumbled free, gasping, as the land convulsed like a living beast. Fire erupted from the cracks, shadows swirling in agony. Meera appeared once more, her form flickering between woman and flame. Her final words reached me, like a whisper carried on the wind. Tell them what was done here." Then, in a burst of fire and ash, she vanished.